Yo, what's good? As I said, once the shit hits the fan, then everyone will start to crawl out the woodwork, uh, issuing, their condemnation, on violence and woo woo. But, you know, people like TD Jakes, and, etc. And I don't know how close of a relationship he has with Diddy, but you know, they have some type of personal relationship. So, like I said before, you can't condemn everyone he's associated with based on his actions. But I find it hard to believe that, you know, as I've already said, none of y'all knew any of this shit, but woo woo. So, Diller issues a public apology to himself, I guess. I'm not sure who he was addressing. I would think he's addressing his sponsors and his business associates, and you know, because he didn't ever mention Cassie, so because. But anyway, it's fascinating. I take no pleasure. Let me start by saying this. I take no pleasure in the destruction of another black man. Um, I'm just calling shit how I see it. And it is fascinating to witness, a narcissist in its own snare trap. You it kind of reminds me of, I had this mutt, husky mutt hybrid. Mutts make some of the best dogs. Y'all niggas better get hit. Anyway, uh, that time I had, a few animals. As a kid, I had a lot of animals, but the had a couple kittens running around, and the husky was aggressive with smaller animals. Long story short, uh, I come into the room and the husky has, the kitten in his mouth. Basically, had ripped the kitten apart, and the look on the dog's face as I enter the room, that's what this apology remind me of. The dog didn't necessarily look guilty per se, but it knew it had done some shit wrong in my eyes. Although in its eyes, it was just doing what dogs do. The point I'm trying to make, this apology was like, damage control type shit, right? Because we know, well, I'm personally biased, I suppose, because I've already made my assessment of, the type of person I think you're dealing with here. And like I said, just having some experience dealing with different type of sociopathic, narcissistic personalities. And yes, I can make that assertion just based off of what I have, the information and data I've come across. Not having a personal relationship with dude, it can be done. So that's what you're dealing with. So he don't give a fuck about Cassie per se. Obviously, it's about damage control. So at this point, a wolf, caught in a snare. And when that snare is on there, you know, when it's really in there, you got no other choice, right, but to basically gnaw your own leg off. So I'm sure this apology was the last thing he wanted to, submit. But what choice does he have at this point in stage, right? So to try to salvage any, business relationships, any type of, but that shit is over, man. They're gonna start pulling the plug on all that type shit. So, uh, I had mentioned before erroneously that it might be pursued criminally, but the statute of limitations have expired on this particular case, so no, there won't be a criminal. Not that I'm personally pushing. He'll get whatever karma he has coming to him. This other shit, you know, and as a, like I said, man, you can get away for shit, for so long, but karma will at some point, you know. I never even mentioned the Shine incident. He just recently, well, he's been out of prison for a while, but dude was exiled in another country or took up a whole nother religion, identity, all that shit. He's another victim of, you know, and sometimes, like I said, man, just because you from the streets, that don't mean you understand people. Just because you understand the streets don't mean you understand different personalities. So Sean didn't know what he was dealing with. Puffy used him too. Threw him to the side, let him take the rap on that shooting. Everybody knows Sean didn't do that shooting. It's common knowledge that Sean didn't commit that shooting. That, allegedly Puffy was the trigger man on that shooting. Now, this ain't common knowledge. This shit is known. Ruined dude's life, his career, everything. But, hey, that's what happens when, you know what I'm saying, you take allegiance with the wrong people. But, like I said, man, Puffy has seen to have a history of, using people and throwing them away. But they say that trip to the top, man, it comes with some sacrifices, and hey, it is what it is. So you just have to be very careful, like I said, where you bury those bodies, because you make enemies too along the way, and people be waiting for their opportunity, right? They be waiting. Somebody you done fucked over, somebody, you've abused, or, whatever the case may be. That perfect opportunity. And to stick that knife in. Because karma and payback, It's a bitch. 216 Skano. You already know.